You have made a mistake before. Every single time you wake up, every single time you go outside, every single day, you have made a mistake. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, because at the end of the day, you understand how human you actually are. You understand that no matter what, mistakes are going to happen. Now tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You understand that your intentions may not always reflect your actions, but you had good intentions nonetheless. You understand that a bad day does not necessarily define you. It was just that. It was a bad day. And the second that we make a mistake towards somebody else, we want to emphasize the fact that it was just a mistake. We want to share our intentions with that person. Our first instinct is to defend ourselves, because we know that our mistakes don't define us, but we don't think that the other person knows that. But sometimes, no matter how hard you explain, no matter the intentions you had, and no matter the result of everything, sometimes the other person just doesn't really want to hear it. And now you're looking at that person in confusion, wondering how it's possible for them to define you over a mistake when you've consistently proven that you're far more than that mistake. And now, if we're so familiar with this feeling, why do we project that same feeling onto another person? Why is it so difficult for us to give each other the benefit of the doubt, when if the shoe was on the other foot, we would be begging that person to hear from our perspective? Because whether they say it or not, internally they're asking us the same questions that we ask them. They're also confused as to why we define them over a mistake. I feel like we're so hypocritical towards each other because we all lack perspective. At the end of the day, we're all trying our best. We are all managing life and our own internal conflicts. And hopefully by the end of this video, you can see that. I would say that I've grown into a really patient and forgiving person. After leaning into religion, I started to see things from a different perspective. My religion really helped me understanding my faults as well as understanding the faults of other people. And I would say that I've grown far more understanding, far more patient, far more forgiving than I was in the past. I really only changed my perspective because I learned about myself. And you might be wondering what that means. Basically, like I said, in the past I really wasn't as forgiving as I am now. I wasn't as patient. Somebody could make a mistake and I'd be really quick to just shut the door on their face. There was no room for a conversation because I feel like if you made one mistake that I didn't like, it would be better for me to just get you out of my life. Regardless of the history that I had with these people, I didn't see the best in them. I defined them based off of their mistakes. I disregarded years of history that I had with people simply over a mistake. And I wouldn't say that this was out of arrogance or out of ego or out of just me thinking that I'm better than that person. I would say that it was more so me just trying to protect myself. Something that I learned about myself was that the mistakes that people did in the past towards me hurt me at the time but still affects me now. So with that lingering in the back of my head, when somebody makes a mistake towards me now, a part of me just wants to protect myself and tells me that it's better to just get that person out of my life because of that mistake. I was unintentionally protecting myself because I didn't really want to feel the same way that I felt back then. I would say that still affects me because now I still have a really hard time trying to see the best in people when they've made a mistake, just because I'm unintentionally trying to protect myself. It never occurred to me that while I was trying my hardest to protect myself, there was a person in front of me that was trying their hardest just to be a person, and me defining that person based off of one mistake that they made did more harm than good to anybody. I really thought about this because right now, recently, I'm starting to hate when people define me based off of a mistake that I made in the past. For example, recently I had somebody tell me that I've changed into a person that's more able to acknowledge when I was wrong, when for the most part, a lot of the people that are close to me or even know me would say that I'm really good with taking accountability and acknowledging when I'm wrong. So this person took a mistake that I made, that they heard from another person, and defined me as a horrible person because of it, just completely disregarding the amount of experiences that I've had with them personally that would completely disagree with the fact that I can't accept when I'm wrong. And just with the way that that made me feel, at that moment I realized that I've done that to so many other people. I have defined people based off of their low moments. I have judged people based off of a bad day. And you'll never understand how frustrating that actually is until it happens to you. So pretty much when I say that everybody's trying their best, that doesn't mean that nobody's trying to hurt you or nobody's trying to offend you. I'm just saying that we're all managing our emotions and trying our best to navigate through life with our own internal conflicts. It's always easy to get upset at somebody who loses their temper at you or just pisses you off in general. And it's always easy to react based off of that, but it's never easy to question what brought that person to that point. It's just never easy at all to question whether that person had a bad day. We're so fixated on how it made us feel or how emotional it made us which is completely valid, but if we can acknowledge the way that our emotions make us react at this person, why can't we flip the perspective and question what emotions brought this person to feeling the way that they did? I'll be the first to say that I was wrong to allow my internal conflict to burn the amount of bridges that it did, or define other people by their mistakes, and I'm sure that at one point or another you've done the same thing. As people, it'll always be common for us to not view people the same way that we view ourselves, but we're all forced to try. And if you can honestly say that you're trying your hardest, despite any obstacle, despite any challenge, that means you have to give other people the same grace. And if you couldn't pick up on how to do that throughout this video, I can simplify it right here. Like I said, personally, it was really religion that helped me prioritize, seeing things from a different perspective and just flipping the perspective on any situation. But in any religion, there's emotional intelligence strategies that anybody can really apply despite what religion you choose. Firstly, imagine a situation where some guy's brushing past you, walking too quickly. It kind of makes you trip a little bit. A lot of our default reaction is to call this guy out and I guess put this guy in his place. And I'm not sure exactly what you would gain from that, but they brush past you, you call them out, and now they're going home, getting yelled at by some random guy that they probably shouldn't have brushed past. But now imagine that same person is having the worst day of their life. They just got broken up with, they just got fired from their job, and now they're getting yelled at by some random guy on the street because they brushed past them a little too quickly. And now they're going home wondering why there's such a screw up in life. I don't know how likely that scenario is, but you get the point. Now, I understand that we all love to put ourselves first, but just for a second, put yourself in another person's perspective. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying our best. If there's one thing that I want you to get out of this video, is to find the emotional intelligence to really put yourselves in the shoes of another person and understand why they're doing something instead of just reacting based off of your emotions. And honestly, none of this is going to change you or impact you if you revert back to the same mentality because the change isn't happening fast enough. So if you need a reminder on how to stay consistent with this change, I have a video here that kind of describes how to do that. And if not, there's another video somewhere over here. But thank you guys for watching. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.